This rich girl visits a bar for the first time and meets a poor street boy. But after just one night sleeping in the park, she finds out she's pregnant. She plans to keep the baby in secret, hoping to use the child to force her father's approval. But when the pregnancy reaches 9 months, her secret is finally exposed. After a fierce argument, she storms out in tears, only to get into a terrible car accident. As soon as she regains consciousness, her father lies to her, saying the baby didn't survive the crash. Lila believes him. Heartbroken, she promises never to see the boy again. What she doesn't know is, her baby is alive and well, lying in the hospital nursery, and something magical happens. As the sound of wind chimes rings through the air, his tiny hands begin to move. Like a conductor, a musical prodigy is born, but sadly, the child is soon sent to an orphanage. It seems like the bond between the three ends here, but fate is already turning its wheels. 10 years later, Lila gives up her dazzling career as a cellist and becomes a humble music teacher. Meanwhile, the street boy Lewis becomes a lead singer in a band. Every song he sings is soaked in his longing for Lila. Not long after, Lila's father falls gravely ill. Before dying, he confesses the truth: the child is still alive. Lila is stunned. Without hesitation, she begins a desperate search for her son. At the same time, the boy, Evan, grows up in the orphanage, known as the Strange One. Why? Because he hears music that no one else can. He believes this gift is his mother's voice calling to him. Determined to find his parents, he runs away to the city, a reckless decision that sets him on a path both chaotic and beautiful. When Lila arrives at the Child Services office, the staff ask her for more information and tell her to wait for a response. But Lila is desperate. She goes straight to the director and pleads for help.
Why now? Why not before? Why is it so important that you want him now?
I've waited 11 years, 2 months, and 15 days to find out that he's alive.
Her eyes are filled with desperation, and the director finally agrees to search. But then, something catches Lila's eye: a missing child flyer on the wall. The moment she sees Evan's photo, she feels a powerful, inexplicable connection, a mother's instinct. And when the staff show her more photos, she's sure this is her son. But bad news strikes. Evan went missing just a few days ago. Right now, Evan walks alone through the busy streets of the city. Suddenly, he's drawn by the sound of street music. A young boy is playing a strange instrument. Evan can't help but reach out and touch it, but the boy snaps at him to back off. So Evan pulls out his only $10 bill. The boy's attitude shifts instantly. Learning that Evan has nowhere to go, he takes him to a rundown old concert hall. Inside, a group of street kids live and play music to survive. They're led by a street hustler named Wizard. Wizard collects the kids' earnings every day, and those who don't make enough get punished, sometimes even starved. Still, Evan chooses to stay, because here, he finds the instruments he loves. That night, while everyone sleeps, Evan sneaks over to a guitar. He gently touches the strings. The sound captivates him. He keeps playing, and a beautiful melody fills the hall. The other kids wake up, drawn in by the music. Wizard is stunned. He calls Evan a once-in-a-generation genius and starts teaching him music theory. He says, "Music is like hidden energy in the universe. It's always around us. If you can feel it, you can control it." With just one conversation, Evan's understanding of music already surpasses the rest. The next day, Wizard can't wait to show him off. He takes Evan to the streets to perform. Evan plays in his own unique way, his fingers dancing over the strings, sending out melodies like magic. Crowds quickly gather. In just one performance, Evan earns more than all the other kids combined. Wizard decides this talent needs a stage name. He calls him August, dreaming he'll become a superstar. But Evan doesn't care about fame. He only hopes that one day, his parents will see him on TV and find him. Meanwhile, Lila, desperate to widen her search, picks up her cello once again, hoping that through music, she'll be able to reach her son. It doesn't take long before the police really do track down where August lives. But Wizard, who already sees August as his personal goldmine, lies to him, saying the police are here to drag him back to the orphanage. He urges August to run and tells him from now on, he can only use the stage name August. Evan believes him and begins to run for his life. With nowhere else to go, he stumbles into a church. A young girl, singing inside, notices him. When she learns he has no home, she kindly offers him shelter. The next morning, she sees how obsessed Evan is with music. She patiently teaches him the basics of sheet music before heading off to school, but no one could have expected what happens next. Evan simply listens to the sounds of the busy city, and inspiration pours into his mind like a tidal wave. Within just a few hours, he composes an entire piece, layered and complex. When the girl returns and sees the sheet music, she's stunned. He just touched a piano for the first time this morning, and now he's written full pages of music. Even Mozart would be speechless. She calls in the pastor, and when he enters, he finds Evan playing his own original piece, flawlessly. The priest is convinced. This boy is an angel sent from God. He knows it's his duty to protect this gift. so he sends Evan to the city's most prestigious music school. The professor is blown away by Evan's raw talent and immediately accepts him. Incredibly, within just a month, Evan composes a full rhapsody. Even the headmaster is stunned. She gathers the staff and suggests this boy should perform his piece at the school's grand concert. Evan nervously asks, "Will there be 100 people watching?" Everyone bursts into laughter. This event happens only once every 3 years, and it draws tens of thousands. Realizing this might be the only chance his parents could see him, Evan throws himself into perfecting his rhapsody. The orchestra works tirelessly to support him. Even New York's most renowned conductor is so moved by Evan's gift, he personally mentors the boy. Meanwhile, Lila also receives an invitation to perform at the concert. Everything seems to be coming together, but just then, Wizard shows up at the school. He demands to take Evan away. The professor asks who he is. Wizard barks, "I'm his father," but Evan refuses to go. He insists he has to play in the concert, so Wizard threatens to send him back to the orphanage. Evan, terrified of that life, has no choice but to leave with him. Once again, he's forced back onto the streets to perform for money. But fate isn't done yet. That same day, Louis, Evan's real father, hears a familiar, haunting melody drifting through the park. He follows the sound and sees Evan playing guitar. Though they've never met, there's a strange sense of connection. Louis compliments the boy's playing, even suggests they swap instruments for a bit. Soon, the two are sitting on the ground, playing a spontaneous duet. Unspoken rhythm, perfect harmony. Music becomes their bridge. Their chemistry is so natural, Louis can't help but praise Evan's incredible talent. Evan smiles and says, "People call me August." But just then, Wizard shows up from across the street, shouting angrily. Afraid of losing his golden goose, he drives them apart. And so, the two walk away, reluctantly, never realizing they're father and son. The concert begins as scheduled. Lila takes the stage as the opening performer. Though it's been 10 years since she last performed, her name alone still stirs the crowd with excitement. As the graceful melody flows from her cello, it feels as though time itself is unraveling. Each note carries a deep, silent longing, spreading like a gentle breeze through every corner of the city. The audience falls completely under her spell, as if swept into a journey of the soul. Evan feels it too, that familiar warmth from the music. With courage, he turns to Wizard and says, "I have to go now. No more fear. Nothing can stop him this time." Before Wizard can react, Evan runs, but soon finds himself trapped. At the critical moment, a friend smashes a guitar over Wizard's back, giving Evan the chance to escape. Meanwhile, thunderous applause fills the hall. Lila gazes into the distance, as if calling to her son without words. But as the concert nears its end, Evan is still nowhere to be seen. The host steps forward, ready to deliver the disappointing news, when suddenly, a young girl rushes in with urgent excitement. "He's here!" The lights rise, and Evan appears at center stage. He raises the baton with steady hands. His music begins, wild and untamed one moment, gentle and tender the next. His rhapsody soars like a storm, then calms like a breeze. And down below, Lila, just about to leave, is struck by the sound. She freezes in place, overwhelmed by something she can't explain. Across the city, Louis happens to see a poster, "August Rush," in bold letters. Something pulls at his heart. He jumps out of the car and races toward the venue. He rushes through the crowd just as Lila pushes her way toward the stage from the other side. Then suddenly, as if guided by fate, Louis turns his head. There she is, Lila, standing quietly nearby. He gently reaches out and takes her hand. After more than a decade, their love finally reconnects. And on stage, Evan seems to feel it too. He slowly turns, and his eyes meet theirs in the crowd. Their gazes lock, and in that one silent exchange, all the years of waiting dissolve. At last, the family is whole. A bond that transcends time and distance finds its way back to the present, through music, through love, through something deeper than words.